I was cleaning up my craft room and I came across this cute little patchworky thing that I made for a project that didn't actually work out. So I thought, well, I don't want to just toss this. Let's make something fun and functional with it. You can either create a piece of fabric like this with little patchwork squares, or you can just pick a piece of fabric. This is a scrappy, fun, useful project. So just grab what you have. I'm gonna grab a piece of fusible fleece. I'm gonna cut it down to fit this. And then the other thing you're gonna need for this is some like drawer liner, rug gripper, something that is like a grippy material. I want something that's got grip, okay? I'm going to cut the fusible fleece to fit this panel. And then I'm gonna press it to the back side with a hot iron. And I'm gonna quilt it because I like to be a little extra sometimes. Quilting, yep, this project is a little extra. Quilt if you want to, don't if you don't want to. Totally up to you. Nothing fancy here. No fancy tools needed, no special skills. This is just you, your fabric, and your sewing machine. And again, this isn't a perfect fit. Don't worry about that either. I think I'm gonna cut out a circle from my patches here. So this fusible fleece doesn't even like fit my entire back. It's covering all of the area that I'm going to use. So I'm gonna use my iron. I'm gonna press it on there really quick. Fusible fleece attached. Now we're gonna do a little quilting just because we want to. In order to make this a circle, I find it's easiest to find something round to trace. I happen to have a 6.5 inch round ruler, so I'm gonna use that. But it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be a dinner plate. It could be a pail of paint. Whatever size circle you want and have something to trace, you could print something out on your computer in the size that you want. So I'm just gonna trace around. And then you can either use your rotary cutter, your scissors, whatever, to cut it out. Before we get to the binding, I'm gonna cut my grippy stuff. And I'm just gonna use the same template. And I'm just gonna use my rotary cutter and I'm just gonna cut around this so it is the same size. So now we've got our grippy, looks like a waffle. And then our circle. So it's gonna go on the back. And we spray adhesive, but I'm gonna spray the grippy part first. So I'm gonna get a piece of paper, protect my surface, spray the grippy side, and then I'm gonna stick it to the back. And then we'll do the binding. Okay, so I sprayed the back of this. Well, there is no real back. I sprayed one side of it. Then I'm gonna place my little quilted top on the top, and I'm gonna use my hands and just press evenly to get it to stick. Then I can throw away my paper and I protected my surface, and now you don't have any extra adhesive in those little holes you see on the back. That's why I sprayed the gripper. And now we're going to do the binding that's gonna hold it all together.
Before we get too far in our binding adventure, I have to remind you that this project does not use regular straight cut binding. We're gonna use bias binding, and that's made a little bit differently. So be sure to check out my bias binding video right here if you've never made it before, for a really simple way to make bias binding. The reason you wanna use a bias binding versus a straight cut binding is because we're gonna go around this circle, and straight binding is just gonna be real frustrating for you. It won't go around there very nicely. So watch that video if you need a refresher. If you've never made it before, I promise you it's really easy, but it's just a different way to make your binding so that it is an easy application for you for this project in particular, or anything that is rounded or has curves. So we are going to start by doing the binding pocket like I taught you in our previous video. If you haven't watched it, go back to watch the binding video if you're not sure how to do this part. Now, it's a little sticky on the underside because of that grippy fabric that we're using, but I think it's going to be just fine. I might need a little assistance with my hands as we guide it along. But the first thing we're doing here is we're sewing down the open part of the pocket. So we're going to stitch 2 to 3 inches down while the binding is open. Then we are going to take that out from underneath the needle. We're going to close up the pocket and then start stitching where you left off, making sure you leave that 2-inch opening at the beginning. Now we're going to start stitching here using a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance all the way around. You're going to want to go a little bit slower on this process. I am just guiding the bias binding around the curve as I go with my hands. If it's easier for you, you can absolutely clip or pin it down if you want to. I am doing just fine guiding it along with my hands. I'm keeping the raw edges together. And then with my right hand, I am kind of just gently pulling on this just because of that grippy. It's not sticking terribly, but it is sticking a little bit. So I'm just giving it a little bit of assistance. I'm not pulling, I'm just kind of gently tugging a little bit. So you're going to go ahead and just continue this all the way around until you get to where that pocket started at the beginning. Okay, we are almost to the pocket. So when you get to where the point of that pocket is, you can see the opening here. We're going to insert the leftover tail, but you're going to want to trim that down a bit. I'm going to trim it once. Sometimes I trim it a little longer than I think it needs to be. That way I have plenty of extra to work with. We're going to just tuck that in the pocket, and yep, I definitely want to take off a little bit more here. I've got too much. It just adds more bulk and you don't really need it that far. As long as you leave a tail 1 to 2 inches down inside that pocket, you'll be fine. All your raw edges are tucked in. So just trim that off. Tuck it into the pocket and fold that pocket closed, and then continue to sew until you meet up where you started on the outside of your binding. We're going to stop sewing where we started. So you've got it all tucked into this pocket. Your raw edge is enclosed here. It's not going to open on you. So then you can simply fold this around to that back edge. I'm just really making sure it's along. Now, totally up to you. If you want to hand stitch that binding on, you can. I don't like to hand stitch if I can help it. So I'm going to machine stitch this down. Now, normally I would press this with an iron, and you could do that if you put something over the grippy. You don't want to melt this. I have no idea what it's made out of. I didn't look. So we're just going to use our hands. This is a great practice project, especially if you've never done bias binding before or you've never done curves, because I know curves can be intimidating. It just takes a little bit of practice. So what I'm doing as I'm stitching to make sure it looks neat on both the back and the front is I'm keeping a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. The nice thing about this grippy fabric here is it's kind of holding this down, and because we made bias binding, it's laying nice and flat all on its own. I'm not even really having to hold this as I go. And also, be creative if you want. If you'd like a more decorative stitch here and you have decorative stitch options on your machine, go ahead and use those. That always adds a little bit of fun and flair to your project. But so here's the back side. We've captured all of the raw edges of our grippy, so it's going to hold that in place nicely. And now the front. We've got this nice little 1/4 inch top stitch on the top edge. It looks just fine, right?
We've got a cute little jar opener, and this is such a great practice project if you've never sewn curves or you've never done bias binding before, this is a great way to help get the hang of it. And now you have something that can help you out when you just can't get the lid off the jar of pickles. Thank you so much for watching. Now be sure you hit that subscribe button so you're following along, and hit that notification bell so that you get notified, because we share videos very regularly here and I don't want you to miss out on any of it. So thank you so much. You can also find us over on Instagram and Facebook. Our links are below in the video description.